Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to stop your dogs being scared of fireworks part 4. I'm actually going to be talking about how the fireworks went and how doing the things that I suggested, how that all worked out for me. I do just want to say, in case you only watched the very first beginning of this video, if your dog has sort of mild anxiety towards fireworks, then doing the things that I have suggested in the other videos will work. Well, I'm pretty sure they'll work. But I was talking to a bloke this morning when I was walking my dogs, and he was saying that his dog was so scared last night that he was actually trying to climb out to jump through the window, like through a closed window. And they were having to hold on to him to stop him from jumping through the window. So that's obviously incredible anxiety. I mean, that is not something that you're just going to be able to sort out doing the things that I said. And we were talking about things that he could do next year to help him. And we basically came to the conclusion that really the dog needs to be away from the fireworks. And so that could either be going on holiday where you know there will be no fireworks. So if you put in Airbnb, you could find somewhere really rural and you could ask and say what are the chances of there being fireworks. And if it's really rural, and places like you can go to forest holidays and stuff like that, and there are holidays in the middle of the forest and they're not allowed to have fireworks. And another option we thought that would be good is that some kennels are right out in the middle of nowhere and there won't be any fireworks there. And whilst I don't like keep it, but I wouldn't I don't put my dogs into kennels. I mean, I wouldn't need to because their anxiety wasn't that severe. But it could be an option for him anyway, because his dog was on some kind of sedation from the vets. So, and still they were having to and it's a big staffy. Yeah, and I just think if your dog's that bad, your only option is to take the dog away from that situation. Because this year, which was, where are we now? Yes, it's Monday today, so Saturday was the 5th. They were louder and it went on for longer, and it was really, really bad. And the other thing that he told me that's really got me thinking is that his mum has got 4 dogs, and she's very much like me. She kind of takes, she's got dogs from all sort of, all of her dogs are rescues. And she said that he said that she had one that had never shown any fear in all the years, and then suddenly did. And that's got me thinking, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But I just wanted to say that quickly in case you only watched the beginning. That was my general thought of the whole thing. But I'm just going to quickly whip through all the stuff I said that I was going to try to do and tell you how I got on with it. So in no particular order. So the first thing I've got down is the DAP spray. As I always say with the DAP spray, I've got absolutely no clue if it works or not. I don't know. And, I don't know. But the thing is, so my dogs were aware of the fireworks. They were very loud, continuous, and all around us. And they were all aware, but relaxed enough to go to sleep. So what I did with them all was I went to bed early, got into bed early, and we just read. I was just cozy, had cozy lights on reading, so I was all relaxed and cozy. And they all went to sleep. So, I can't say whether it worked or not. There's no evidence that it did. My dogs, the whole thing went very, very well indeed. It's hard to say whether that works or not. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what I did. Chamomile. Yeah, chamomile tea. I had a cup of chamomile tea. And that is all to keep my energy good. And yeah, I was really proud of myself. I really, really did keep my energy well. I kept my energy nice and calm. And if at any point I was sort of could feel me getting a little bit worried, I would just do some deep breathing and just make sure that my energy was really good. But on the whole, I managed to keep my energy really calm, and I'm really proud of myself because last year I didn't stay as calm as I needed to because I was taken so off guard by it last year. And but this year I managed to stay really calm, and I really worked hard. I prepared myself the whole day, and I was able to just be lying in bed reading a book, and I felt nice and calm, and I really feel like that really helped the dogs. The other thing that was really massive was having the plan. So I talked about my plan in the in part 3 in the last video, and I stuck with that. Harry did bark a few times, as I thought he would, and my plan, you know, worked perfectly. And when he was barking, I just referred back to thought about my plan and remembered what the plan was. And yeah, altogether, that went very, very well. I was pleased with that. Preparing the family was important. So like I said, I had a discussion with my husband about what we were going to do, how we were going to go with it. Mainly for Harry, the dog I'm showing you now, because he is the barker out of them all. And yeah, the plan went very well. So yeah, that went all well. And preparing the family, closing all the windows, it made such a difference. So like I said, I was going to do 4 o'clock, I would have shut all the windows. The garden, yeah, we got really lucky with that, because unfortunately a couple of times Hums, this one here, he needed to go out to toilet while the fireworks were going, and he wanted to go. Now I put a puppy pad down by the back door. I do that if anyone's ever got a bit of an off tummy or anything like that. I put a puppy pad down by the back door so that they can use that in the night if they need it. And I did do that so that if they wanted to, they could go on that. But a couple of times they wanted to go out. But luckily they were always in the breaks of there not being any fireworks. I wouldn't have let them out while the fireworks were going off. I wouldn't have done. But really got lucky that there were just a few breaks in between them, and that's when they managed to get out and go to the toilet. So got really lucky with that. What else? Yeah, extra walk, extra training. I actually put a lot of extra training in. Simply because I just thought that there was a risk if I did an extra walk, they would get overtired, because they're getting on now. You know, my boys aren't all young boys anymore. And I didn't want them overtired, because that is not a good thing, and it wouldn't have been a good situation for them to be in. Yeah, classical music that I said about, you know, you can go on YouTube and find calming, relaxing music for dogs. That went really well. Yeah, it created a nice atmosphere. But also it was really important that I did the evening the same as any other evening, so they didn't think anything was off. And like I said, you know, I watch NCIS. I watch an episode of that every evening. I've got a thing about NCIS at the moment. And I just watched that and, you know, just carried on with my evening as normal. The lavender oil, I did that, like I said, again, just to keep my energy nice and calm and relaxed. And put the fire on and had a nice cozy environment with candles and things like that. So all in all, I was really pleased with how it went for my dogs. But I can't stop thinking about the dog I was told about this morning. And yeah, it really, what worries me is the dogs that didn't have a fear before and just suddenly got a bad fear. Now, whether the fireworks were worse or not, I don't know. Personally, I didn't think they were worse than last year. But the man I was talking to thought they were a lot worse than last year. So, you know, I don't know. But, I don't know. I just don't know. But to think that a dog could suddenly get a fear of fireworks, that's really not nice. However, anyway, so I'm not sure if that's quite a rare thing for a dog to suddenly get a fear of fireworks. I would think that would be quite rare. I would think it would be more of maybe there's been a change in dynamics of the pack, or maybe the owner's energy wasn't very good, something like that. I wouldn't think a dog would just suddenly gain a massive fear of fireworks for no reason. But this is what I'm taking away from it. I'm going next year, we're going to book our holiday to coincide with the 2 weeks of fireworks, because yeah, sure, it went really well. Actually, it did go really, really well, but there was you know, an undercurrent of anxiety with them all, and they were all more clingy than they usually are. Yeah, so there was definitely an undercurrent of anxiety there. And I just don't see the point in putting them through it, or us for that matter, because, you know, I was apprehensive coming up to it, and there was an awful lot I had to put in place. And I just don't see personally the point in putting my dogs through that if I can avoid it. And we don't go on holiday in the summer because it doesn't work with dogs in the heat. So we go on holiday autumn, winter time anyway. So we're just going to book a holiday to be those 2 weeks next year so that we don't have to put them through it. And we're going to stay somewhere like a forest holidays where there won't be any fireworks because they're not allowed fireworks, and it's in the middle of a massive forest, and just take the situation away. But you know, obviously, not everyone can do that. I understand that not everyone can do that. But this is what I've taken from it all, and that's what I'm chosen to do. Please, can you talk to me about your firework experience? I am massively interested now in, can dogs just get a fear of fireworks when they've not had any history of it in the past, without there being some big change to their life? I mean, like with us, we moved house, and Harry, you know, had never experienced fireworks like that, and he was scared of them, and so yeah, that kind of makes sense. But that isn't a fear, like he certainly wasn't trying to climb through windows or anything like that. But I really am interested in a dog where his environment doesn't seem to have changed, and then suddenly just gets a big fear of them. Old age could be a thing, I suppose. I suppose old age could cause that to happen. But I'm really interested in that now, because that obviously is something that, you know, isn't nice with a dog and is a concern. Can you let me know, what did you do? What tips did you do? How did it go? If you did the tips in the video, part 3, how did it go? Again, the bubble wrap technique, I think it really worked. I think it took the edge off it, because there were a few times when there were some really big bangs, and they were loud, and they sort of made me jump. And yet the boys didn't even wake up. They just stayed fast asleep. So I definitely think that the bubble wrap training worked, because when I started the bubble wrap, all 3 of them would jump very jumpy about it. And then to have great big bangs going off and not jump, I think the bubble wrap definitely took the edge off it. Definitely did. So that's it. Please give me your experience of how you got on with it all. I'd be very interested to know. As always, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Furry and Spoiled. I'm much more active on Twitter than I am Instagram. It's much more chatty over there. I have many more conversations over there with you. So if you've got any questions at all, anything at all, just ask me. Pop them in comments, wherever. You know how it all works. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.